Okay guys, so it's happening just as I predicted, and as usual we get straight into the content, no gimmicks whatsoever. Now PulseChain is starting to see many projects that had said that they would start launching. We saw Mintra launch, we saw 9-inch launch as well. So we're starting to see a lot of PulseChain native projects start to launch, and this is one thing that I said would happen soon after PulseChain launches, that we'll see an influx of projects, and that is unique for several reasons. It's unique because a lot of PulseChain users are DeFi users. So that means that we are most likely going to have the most robust DeFi ecosystem, the biggest ecosystem in terms of users over time, because we are DeFi users on the PulseChain. Now, in terms of price, right, we can expect to see some projects that will do extraordinarily well and some won't have great price performance. What I have noticed though is that many times when projects launch, they come up with a massive bang, everyone is talking about them, but then that seems to kind of fizzle out a little bit quickly. Now, that's okay, that's to be understood. What I think we need to get onto is the next phase, where these projects start actively going out to recruit new users. That means they start advertising, start marketing to different communities in the crypto space, onboarding those people onto PulseChain. One of the things that I think that we need to be commended for is that we are good at crafting, designing tokenomics. And if we have a platform that has real DeFi users and great tokenomics, that is great for long-term price performance of those projects. So that is something that I think would be attractive to many users. But what we're seeing with a lot of projects launching and a lot of projects that have a really active participation of the community, I think will encourage more people to come and build on PulseChain, and also it will encourage more people to want to interact with those applications on PulseChain. We launched PulseShib, a DeFi meme coin on PulseChain, and ShibShift as well, a DEX where there's access to yield farms, which I think that those things, if we start actively getting new people on board on the ecosystem, they have a lot to do on PulseChain. You've got different trading platforms, you've got different yield farming platforms, you've got leverage trading and all of that in a decentralized manner. So I do think that this is where we start to win. Now, obviously, this is not an overnight type of a thing, right? This is something that happens over time as these platforms start to bring on new users. Now, there is one thing that I have to say is for those who are investing in these altcoins in the ecosystem, what you've got to really understand and look at carefully is this. What I notice is a lot of these projects, when they come and launch, they have massive hype, massive excitement, and a lot of people want to jump into them. But then that kind of fizzles out, and then we see a really kind of a painful dip. I've seen that in many projects. A lot of projects have come and had their really moment on the sun, but when that dries up, it kind of dies down. The next phase, in my view, is that for these projects, you start to say, okay, look, if this is where we are right now, let's start to onboard other people. Let's start to bring other people from other ecosystems onto PulseChain. That, I think, is the next step. And as we start to do that, developing in a real DeFi environment. Now, this is really important, that this is a real DeFi environment. This is an environment with absolutely no centralized players. And all of the stuff that we don't have are opportunities for people to build that infrastructure. I think it's Coast that were building some tools that would onboard people with fiat. So we do have some people that are trying to bridge that gap with centralized finance and DeFi. But in terms of DeFi, a real rich DeFi ecosystem, I think that this is the one thing where we have a massive competitive advantage. I mean, if you look outside of Ethereum, I don't think there's any other blockchain that is competitive, that is dominantly an on-chain community. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time.